Okay, thank you for joining us back. The video that you're about to watch is kind of dark. I made it at 2 in the morning last night. This morning, started editing it. Finally got some sleep. I got about 4 hours of sleep. It was 1:53 on the 5th. And when I woke up this morning, I already had notice and call from people interested in making sure that families stay together and protected. And they said that Allan went down to the courthouse. He moved before Thomas McAvoy Britton, and Thomas McAvoy Britton said that from the motion he just read with the evidence, there was no cause he could see to issue an order, so he wasn't going to issue an order. And I'll leave it to you to decide whether that's true, lawful, and correct or not. But what I will say is this, is that in my opinion, it was a kangaroo court. It wasn't on the record. They didn't put it on the record of the court. They were just playing him to get him to go away so that they could say that he failed to prosecute his own action. And this is how bad it's gotten. And Thomas McAvoy Britton is the same judicial officer who had me arrested for trying to help an 87-year-old Korean War veteran stand up so that he could say that woman wasn't his attorney when Thomas McAvoy Britton, Boyd Massey, and Barbara Lubin were all involved in collusion that we have recorded to Still's property in court. Multiple witnesses to it. And back then, I told everybody, look, hey, if we don't get together and do something about this, all of our rights are going to be gone. And now they've taken away your right to own private property, your right to privately contract. You don't have the right to remain silent. We're in serious, serious trouble. I just wish to keep everybody up to date and informed. And if you don't wish for them to do this to you, I implore you to call the courthouse, call the governor's office, call your local state legislature for your district, and just tell them that you pray that they uphold the law and the will of our Heavenly Father and do the right thing. I really hope and pray that this does not get violent. But historically, when one group of people have just taken and taken and taken from another group of people without right or reason, at some at some point in time, when people have nothing to live for, they have nothing to lose. And that's when things get scary. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this presentation. I hope enough people get concerned about this that we can save our children's futures. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. Please pass this around because YouTube's not helping me. Social media is not helping me. It's all up to you. It's all up to us. We have to talk with each other about these things. We have to communicate with the people we love. We have to come together and protect each other's rights, because if we don't protect each other's rights, then our rights will not be protected at all. I hope you enjoy the presentation. God help us. Welcome back to Just Conspiracy, where we just wish to conspire with other good people of the planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. And in doing so, bringing heaven down to earth by restoring our Father's law to the earth. For the people who've been following Allan Smith's story, first off, I have to do this because it is really, really late. That's not going to tell you the time. This is 2:25, April 5th, or 2:28, April 5th, a.m. I haven't really gotten any sleep, and everybody at my house is sleeping, so I kind of gotta be as quiet as I possibly can. There's been another development to Allan's case, almost kind of as if we feared. DSS didn't ask for the court to give Allan custody for 45 days or even do anything. So they put it over to Buncombe County, and Buncombe County just doesn't look at anything to do with one of Tamara's clients or Heather. And this is just, Katie. And this is just from what I've heard. I don't know any of this to be fact, but from seeing how the court operates, it looks kind of evidentiary to me. So Allan's super stressed out. A lot of us are involved. A lot of us are working with one another, working with each other to try and work through this. And we all got to work through this together. We all got to work through this together. But we're pretty sure that Tamara's probably going to file something. I would be surprised if she didn't. Because Allan didn't give the kids back. He didn't give Sarah and Lucas back. And I'm going to explain why for people who don't know. But I just hope everybody appreciates that I haven't gotten any sleep. So I apologize for my presentation before we really get started. What's going on is absolutely awful. Allan's going to put in basically emotion. He doesn't know how to speak legalese. He doesn't have codes and case law and statutes and all that crazy stuff. But this is really going to happen if we make the difference. If we stay on top of it. And I was talking to my mom about what was going on. And I kind of told her about how they kept ignoring things. And she said, well, if it's DSS and they won't investigate and they're closing it out, not doing what they're supposed to, like getting a medical exam. We still haven't gotten a medical exam. And some reason, it went back over to Buncombe County. I understand it's state law. But why was it over there when it shouldn't have been, when Nika was being looked at by DSS? How come the DSS over there let her get away with not having the kids forensically examined the first time? That's just my opinion. So Allan's gonna go and try to move the court. And it's kind of like a timeline for people if this is your first time watching this. What's going on to this man is absolutely insane and ridiculous. What they've been doing to his family. The courts have gotten so bad, they're calling good evil and evil good. And it's blatant. I'm so tired, it's hard for me to keep a really good thought. So, basically, if DSS is having this issue and a DSS office like Buncombe County maybe is doing things that kind of look a little suspicious, and it seems like certain people aren't being looked at, My mom's suggestion was to call the governor's office, have people call the governor's office. So we're going to put the phone number and stuff, information up here for people to call and write. I mean, ultimately, the Department of Social Services comes under the executive branch of government. So, last buck stops with the governor, and that's who you vote on. Let them know, complain, call them up, take up the phone lines. Same with the courthouse. You know, this isn't going to work if we don't all come together and stand behind each other. And even if you don't have something right now, you might have something at some point in time, because the government's out of control. They're absolutely out of control. Absolutely. This is the only thing I see as a way out. So, in response, and I'm just putting this out there so people can follow along with it in real time. It's not fun. It's not easy. But we're gonna get into and read the motion that Allan is going to put in. Not motion, he's gonna move the court. Here is what he dictated to the one art. That man. A couple other people were talking about it too. Got some good ideas there. A verified statement of facts. That's what they didn't really have when they put in their motion to hold Allan in contempt. They didn't have any statement of facts. And move to protect Sarah and Lucas. So he's moving the court to protect Sarah, his daughter, the one that was injured, and Lucas. Because, well, if you're going to protect one, you might as well protect both. Now, man appear in image of creator. See, God created man, right? So, that man's appearing, and he's in the image of the creator. Write, declare, and say in open court of law, should one be found, under pains and penalty of perjury. Point. On April 1, 2022, I accept custody of Lucas and Sarah around 5:45 a.m. at Katie's filthy apartment. When I did the April Fool's video, he was getting his kid, and she was beat up. I didn't know about it until later. About 1 hour later at Ingles, to pick up groceries to cook breakfast, I noticed a sizable bruise on Sarah's cheek. Yeah, you know how I was talking about the picture? This is Allan's. Well, Allan's gonna go file with the court, and people better watch this and let them know that we're watching. Dear God, please let this work. Once we entered the light, as it was dark during exchange. So basically, like, it was really dark when he got Sarah and Lucas. He didn't notice it because he picked him up at 5:45 in the morning. He's going to the grocery store to get stuff to cook breakfast with, you know, eggs, bacon, that kind of stuff. And as soon as they get in the parking lot, he notices that Sarah's cheek is bruised. At Sarah's request, I escort and assist Sarah to the bathroom, where I discover multiple red burns, marks with bruising, 3 bruises on the right side of spine and 1 to the left, as well as what appears to be scratches, bruising, and slight burn mark on right arm. As one expects from a neglectful parent, Katie, in my opinion, who spends minimal attention with their own children, or had Katie known, Katie took no responsible action to protect Sarah or inform me of her injuries. As a result of multiple family members who interact with Sarah every Friday to show Sarah and Lucas love, attention, and care, DSS was called, and I call a close friend on the police department with knowledge of my case to seek advice on reporting this crime. Upon information and belief, I was told DSS advised that I was not to have Sarah and Lucas until DSS agents could inspect Sarah and Lucas and do a follow-up interview with me for the following morning. So basically, a member of the family called DSS, and DSS told them, don't let anybody around Sarah and Lucas, not even Allan. Not until we get together and we meet up and we have this interview and we check them out. We don't know what's going on. And that's on Saturday, April 2nd. So that was the day I actually published the April Fool's video. Just kind of ironic at this point. Saturday morning, April 2, DSS agent, after calling supervisor upon information from agent and supervisor. So, see, he's saying upon information. He doesn't have firsthand knowledge of the call. So he's saying that the supervisor and the agent both told him that that call happened. I was asked to sign consent form for child medical evaluation, CME, and protect care and properly parent Sarah and Lucas until case is closed, which could be up to 45 days. Katie refused to allow medical exam the last time DSS investigated Katie, Exhibit F. See, Katie was accused before, and this is the first time she was ever accused. It was of sexual assault. Her boyfriend sexually assaulted, and DSS got involved because Nika called. Nika called them in, and Katie kept the kids all weekend long. Allan didn't know where they were on Father's Day weekend. And this is all record. The Exhibit F is a record of the court. It has been testified to recently before court by a DSS agent that I was charged and cleared in at least 3 different DSS cases, with more phone calls reporting false allegations against me within the past year, and I was clear of all allegations by DSS. I think it was 4, but I wasn't 100% sure. We know at least 3. Allan was saying that it was 3 extra calls, but it was 4 investigations. I don't know. I just felt safe saying 3 or more, you know. I don't know. That's what I would do if it were me. And I'm just giving my opinion, that's all. That's all. Katie kept Sarah and Lucas against court order without DSS recommendation and against my express consent, using the DSS investigations as reason to violate court order from December 10, 2021 through January 28, 2022. And I'll put a link to a video talking about that, maybe at the beginning or in the middle, right about here. Approximately 49 days and returned Sarah and Lucas. So she kept them for 49 days against his will, against his consent, against the court order, and said it was because of a DSS investigation. And then she closed it before closure of DSS case, which was Katie and Tamara's rationale as explained in numerous emails, which Tamara elected to ignore. He kept trying to communicate with them about there was no danger, there was no threat. They get DSS involved, and DSS was already involved, and they're saying we're not going to give you the children back until the DSS close their case, and then they give them back before the DSS closes the case for some strange unknown reason. I view the kidnapping of Sarah and Lucas as criminal. On January 14, 2022, I picked up Lucas from school around 11:30 a.m. to noon and immediately drove to Katie's apartment, called Asheville PD to do a welfare check for Sarah. Waited for approximately an hour longer. When APD arrived, I produced for APD separation agreement, temporary custody order, certified copy of arrest records for Thomas Ward, Exhibit G. Okay, Exhibit G. So He has certified documents of his arrest history. He says, I think my girl's in there. She could be in danger because they've been keeping them from me for like a month now. I haven't even been able to see them. Will you just go get her for me? Because the mom's not here and Thomas Ward doesn't have more parental right than I do. And she could be getting hurt. He has a bad record. And I don't have all the specifics of the record right here, but Allan's going to get those. He has copies. He has certified documents at home. Continued disregard of officials appear to me to be completely unfair and one-sided, but I still pray for rights and justice, as rights and justice are fundamental elements of any civil society, and continue to pray that judiciary performs duties, responsibilities, and obligations as duly qualified actions and only exercise judicial privilege lawfully ministering justice. Which basically means we pray you uphold your duties and obligations to recognize our rights, our private rights, your duties and obligations to uphold the law and not just what the legislature creates or not just some crazy administrative case law, but to actually uphold the law when a man goes into a courtroom or a woman goes into a courtroom, when a decided self-proclaimed non-slave goes into a courtroom. We wish for you to uphold that duly, because that's the lawful part of your job description, not just the legal one, and only exercise your judicial privilege, the privilege that we give you the power to exercise through consent of the governed, when you're ministering to justice, not administrating justice. Go tell me in the Bible how many times God tells his people, go administrate people. Just tell me that. I really hope a lot of people are watching this and have a heart, because I think all those numbers are lies. All the numbers you see, views on YouTube, no comments. I think all of that stuff's a lie. And it's only going to be when we get this off the internet that anything's going to change. When we actually meet up in real life. With that, Allan, brother, I hope we save your children and create them, raise them, teach them how to be sons and daughters of God, of the Heavenly Father, of the man. But we can only do it with help. Please, call the courthouse with your concern. Call the governor with your concern. This is serious. It could be your children. They could be taking your property. And if we don't do something to blatantly stop them now, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. Well, here's the motion part of this. I move court execute order to assist my duties and obligations of my father person to protect Sarah and Lucas from any harm, physical or otherwise, by way of restoration or portion of time taken from my father person in December and January. I wish to execute father person's duty to protect and safeguard father person's posterity and verify said duties by care, responsibility, control, and possession of Sarah and Lucas unmolested until May 16, 2022 at 9 a.m. when we already have pre-planned time to handle time-consuming case. Basically what he's saying is, you guys have been pushing me off for like 6 months.
And now, the week that you guys took away my right to contract, Katie sends Sarah back with multiple bruises that the DSS agents in Transylvania County are really concerned about, but not so much in Buncombe County. I have pretty good reason to keep them, and the fact that Katie kept them for that an extended, a longer period of time over Christmas and New Year's, we uphold my right to protect them now? Or are you going to send them back with their mom because you have to uphold her rights to see her children? Because you can only have rights upheld if you have an attorney. This is serious. This is for real. This is how far it's gotten. Stay tuned. I hope people think about donating sometime. I'd really appreciate it. But right now, I'm going to bed. One world, love, and peace.